I want to have a job in something I love. I want to have fun and meet new people. I want to be social. The Illinois Media School has so many cool things they offer for me and their students. With the amount of stuff you learn, there's no way you won't succeed. You'll learn how to do a voiceover, how to use camera equipment. I mean, actual hands-on. You can even host your own radio or TV show. All of our instructors actually work in the industry too. So go to beonair.com and start your future in broadcasting today. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
The Illinois Media School and the Chicago Cubs Single A affiliate in South Bend, Indiana are teaming up. Be a part of all the action with the Illinois Media School's new Sports Broadcasting Emphasis program. You'll experience what it's really like in the broadcasting world by analyzing games.
Swinging a long drive to left field. Pickens on his horse, still on his horse. He looks up. Adios!
Play-by-play, producing, shooting, and editing games for the Cubs of the future, your South Bend Cubs. You'll be doing everything but handing out the peanuts.
Peanuts! Got your peanuts here!
The best part is you'll be covering up to 70 games this season and the opportunity to do play-by-play for the whole 9 innings. So start your career with a home run and join the Illinois Media School. For more information, go to beonair.com. That's beonair.com. The Illinois Media School and the Cubs. Now that's a winning combination.
What brought me to IMS was a passion for broadcasting. Ever since I was a child, I would listen to Bulls games with Chris Ranji post-game, and I would actually call the radio station at home, and then I would record it on my tape recorder and listen back to my call. But that's my cheesy story, of course. But what brought me to it is just the passion for it. I love hearing people talk, hearing their opinions. I love listening to sports. I love watching sports, and I love the whole shebang of it. It's just an amazing industry. It's an amazing atmosphere to be in, and you know, I've enjoyed everything about IMS. I enjoyed my time teaching here. I love the students. The students are so passionate about what they're doing, and it's always fun to see when you come into class the next day, their want to be in class. It's rare that you see that from students, because it's the typical, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. No,
to beautiful Elmhurst, Illinois at Elmhurst College, the home of the Blue Jays. Alongside Evan Lotz and Ben McClavick, I'm Tony Guzman, and we are set for a great matchup between the St. Joseph Chargers and Chicago Hope Academy Eagles. Guys, what are your thoughts on, what are you looking forward to seeing this game here tonight?
Well, honestly, I think this is going to be a shootout of sorts tonight. Last year, Chicago Hope, they scored over 40 points in 9 of their 10 games. They're already averaging 44 points a game this year, but they're giving up 32 points a game, so I'll be interested to see what St. Joseph's can do offensively to match that.
Definitely. The St. Joe's Chargers and their powerful offense can easily take advantage of Chicago Hope's defense in this game here. Like you said, a shootout, definitely. I expect to see two high-powered offenses going at each other for this entire game.
The Chargers coming in at 2-1 with winning their last 2 ball games, and for the Eagles of Hope Academy, they are 3-0 and have put up at least 36 points in all 3 of their games. So you were talking about high-powered offenses, but for the Chargers, they have shut out their last 2 opponents. So I'm looking forward to the defensive matchups here for both teams.
It will definitely be an interesting combination between St. Joe's Chargers' powerful defense. Now, as you mentioned, last week they took on Catalyst Maria and scored 29 points, I believe, in that game. So we are interested to see what we can produce from a St. Joe's offensive standpoint as well.
Exactly, and it's going to be key for the St. Joseph's defense to keep the Chicago Hope Academy Eagles off the field, because you don't want this Hope team to get in any sort of rhythm. They have a lot of motion along the line, a lot of run-pass options, keep defenses off balance. So if St. Joseph's can keep sustained drives moving, they might have a shot to maybe try and stifle the Hope offense just a little bit.
As the captains walk on to the field for both teams, someone that I look forward to watching defensively for the Chargers is Antonio Hardaway, who did stand out to me last week against Catalyst Maria. So for you guys, who on either offensively or defensively, who do you look forward to seeing play?
Oh, definitely. Shamar McDade Bishop, and all 275 pounds of him.
My
this
goodness.
Guy, we were talking last week, if you are Chicago Hope, or in that case Catalyst Maria, you need to have a bell on this guy and know where he is on the field at all times. He will use all 6'3", 275 of himself and make a play.
For me on offense, I'm looking forward to see what Zachary Ford can do for the Chargers tonight. He's kind of the catalyst of this 3-headed monster on offense between him, Amir Bergie, and Desmond McPhail. You know, he's listed as a Wes Welker type slot receiver, 5'9", 175. If he can get things going, get in some space for the Chargers offense, they have a chance. And on defense, Junior Malik Mason, defensive lineman. He played some linebacker last year, but now he's on the defensive line, filling in for Chris Reed, who's now at Indiana State. He'll be key to get in to the backfield of the Chicago Hope offense.
So Chicago Hope Academy will be receiving the kick here in this first half, and we are going to be going left to right to start the game. Someone for me that I'm looking forward to see is the quarterback. Of course, the quarterback, the most important position in football, and Caleb Hayden for this high-powered offense of the Chargers. He has to get it going for his team. He touches the ball every single play, so it definitely starts through him.
And for another thing I'm interested in for tonight is that this is kind of the marquee matchup tonight in Class 2A, as Chicago Hope's coming in ranked 6th in the state in 2A. St. Joseph's is at 12th. This will be a good barometer for St. Joseph's tonight, is where they stand in 2A. They got 7 wins in the regular season last year, but were blown out in the first round by St. Bede Academy out of Peru last year. So if they don't necessarily have to beat Chicago Hope tonight, but if they can stay with them, they can solidify themselves as a real playoff team in 2A once the playoffs come around.
And a win would definitely be huge.
Oh, exactly.
For St. Joe's Chargers walking out of here 3-1 against a powerful Chicago Hope team. Number 6, as you said, in the state. A good upset is what we're looking forward to here.
Right, and Chicago Hope last year, they put up 70 points on the eventual state champion Deer Creek Mackinac. So Chicago Hope is one of the they're one of the staples in Class 2A. They've solidified themselves as a top team.
Absolutely, a 2A powerhouse, as you said, and they are 6th in 2A. So that's something that the Chargers are going to face in this conference game. So it's going to be very interesting and a great game to see.
And as we take a break here, we will return after the national anthem.
Heavenly Father, be with these young athletes as they test their physical skills. Let them play well, but fairly. Let competition make them strong, but never hostile. Grant them the strength to best their opponent and lead them to always help the opponent up. Grant them moments to rejoice, but not in the adversity of others. Help them stay safe from injury, both physical and emotional. Help them to learn something that matters once the game is over. Help them remember that sports are just games. If they know victory, allow them to be happy. If they are denied, keep them from envy. If through athletics they set an example, let it be a good one. In the name of your Son, Jesus. St. John Baptist de La Salle, St. Joseph, live Jesus in our hearts. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Please remain standing as we honor our country with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose rush rise and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets raised in air, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We're welcoming you back to Langhorse Field in beautiful Elmhurst, Illinois. I'm Evan Loads here alongside Ben and Tony, and we're getting set for a great night of football here. You could not ask for better weather.
Yeah, a little unseasonably warm for the
Absolutely.
middle of September, but I think we'll take it here tonight. Nice lukewarm night for football.
I would agree with that. Players might get a little bit overheated. They're definitely going to be taking plenty of water breaks tonight for sure. Up in the booth, though, feeling nice and cozy. 75 degrees here as we're getting set for a kickoff. Winds out of the east at 5 miles an hour. Shouldn't make too much of an impact on the game tonight, you think?
Not at all, and it is a warm night, as you said, Ben. 82 degrees here in Elmhurst, so we are just about getting ready to start the game. Thank you for tuning in once again. We are streaming live on Facebook through the Illinois Media School page, also on also on SportstownChicago.com.
Sounds good. Yeah, you were mentioning 82 degrees. Yes, that's what I got there on that second read. It is a little bit warm.
So with how high-powered the Chicago Hope offense is, I think the temperature is really going to be the biggest factor here tonight.
These two teams, definitely, I think we're going to see them running the ball quite a bit tonight. And if you're sprinting constantly, you are definitely going to get overheated. So it's going to be interesting to see maybe some substitutions or different plays, or how we're going to change up this offense so nobody gets too hot and overheated.
Yeah, St. Joseph's, from the start, they're going to have to look out for sophomore quarterback Trevor Land 2 weeks ago against St. Edwards. 213 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns, 94 on the ground.
Wow.
He can do it both with his arm and his legs, so the Chargers are going to have to start the game by trying to slow him down.
And it all starts up front, that front seven for the Chargers. As we noted, 2 defensive tackles for the Chargers. So it's going to start with them, and we'll see. They are opening up on defense, so we will see how this Chargers defense stacks up to this high-powered Eagles offense.
And just a quick reminder, if you're listening to this game on SportstownChicago.com, you can also catch it on Illinois Media School's Facebook Live page. All you have to do is hit up Facebook and search Illinois Media School Live. As the first kick goes off.
As the kick is off and the Eagles receive it, that is number 14 for the Eagles with a nice return, Neil Campbell for Hope Academy.
He's going to be one of those dangerous wide receivers of the Chicago Hope offense. So quick start for Chicago.
As he returns it to his 30-yard line, and the offense for the Eagles is now on the field along with the Chargers defense. Excuse me, that's the 34-yard line.
Let's see what they do here with the first play of the first drive of this game. You said starting from the 34-yard line. We have 3 out to the right, 2 out to the left.
You doing play-by-play? I'm so confused now.
And as I had mentioned earlier, that they have this spread offense. They started 5 wide receivers, set 1 man in motion, run pass option along the line, try to keep the defense on their toes.
I just want to make sure I don't want to space.
And another empty back set for the Eagles as they send a man in motion, and they fake the handoff, looks to his right, and an incomplete pass nearly intercepted there by number 10 for the Chargers, Jesse McDonald.
It's off the hands of LaFabian Fain, the sophomore. But so far it looks like they've been trying to put Campbell in motion as kind of the de facto running back for this Eagles offense.
And now they have a running back there with Trevor Land, still in shotgun as the Chargers get called for the offsides.
Little encroachment there.
You don't like to see this from St. Joseph's. Penalties and turnovers what hurt them in their Week 1 loss to Elmwood Park. If they're going to try to compete and slow down this Eagles offense, they're going to need to cut back on the penalties.
Yeah, and that was on 3rd down. That was huge for them. They're trying to draw a false start when they went ahead and got the encroachment, as you said, Evan. And they are in shotgun once again with the running back alongside Land, a receiver in motion. That's number 1, and they hand it off to him on a jet sweep on the near sideline. He gets the first down and then some all the way to the Chargers' 40-yard line. And that was a nice run there by number 1, LaFabian Fain, for the Eagles.
You saw a couple of broken tackles while he went up the middle across that 50 there. LaFabian Fain definitely uses his small stature to sneak by and shake some defenders.
Yeah, LaFabian Fain coming in at 5'9", 174 pounds, so he does have a small frame. As number 14 there, Neil Campbell, finally gets the ball. As the beginning of that drive for the Eagles, he was almost being used as the decoy as he finally gets the ball there.
Now, you were mentioning earlier penalties and turnovers. Well, penalties you can already see are starting to hurt. Just 5 yards has already brought these Eagles offense to the 35.
And now empty back set for Land. Sends his man in motion and hands it off, and he keeps it himself and gets it all the way to the Chargers' 25-yard line. He faked everyone out there and the entire defensive line for the Chargers.
And what's encouraging is that Malik Mason was the first one back there, and then even though they didn't get him on that one, they had good penetration in the backfield. If they can continue that throughout the night, they may be able to back up some of these drives.
As there was a flag on the play, and it was holding on the Eagles.
Definitely putting pressure on the quarterback is going to be a key to shutting down this Hope offense.
So that will bring them back all the way to their own.
Here.
Yeah, there it is. It'll be at the 44-yard line of the Chargers, and it'll be 2nd and long for the Eagles.
Looks like they're setting it a 2nd and 13 here.
2nd and 11. And Land throws right deep down the field, and it is overthrown. He overthrows LaFabian Fain there down the far sideline. So an incomplete pass, and it will be 3rd and 11 now for the Eagles. A big 3rd down here for the Chargers.
And this goes back to the previous set of downs that they don't want to have any mistakes here. They don't want any penalties. If they can get a stop early, that'll give them some momentum going into their first offensive possession.
So now it is 3rd and 11.
Looks like they're going in the air.
There's Land, drops back in the shotgun, scrambles, goes to his left, and gets still going, gets all the way to the Chargers' 20-yard line, and that is a big 3rd down conversion for the Eagles and Trevor Land.
You got to wonder where the defense was on that play. The secondary backed up a little bit too far on that zone coverage and could not get the runner.
Yeah, and they had only rushed 4 on the play, so I was surprised that there wasn't anyone out to the left side that allowed that huge run.
And Land does like to run the ball, so you have to keep contained, maybe keep a quarterback spy on him, but as you said, they only rushed 4, so you have to have someone back there keeping an eye on Land. As he hands it off to number 22 there, that is Eric Green for the Eagles, and gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Eric Green on the carry, taken down by Zarel Mason.
And back to that previous run, the senior Zion Timms, he's going to be really important to help contain those types of run throughout the night. With some senior leadership, they need to prevent those long runs from Land on 3rd down.
So now it is 2nd down and 10, and Land is scrambling, tries to run it.
St. Joe's did a better job of containing the quarterback, but once again, that scramble seems to be quite effective in the event that he can't get the ball off there. That was Trevor Land, the quarterback. You really do need to contain him.
Yeah, that was that should have been a negative yardage play for the Eagles, and somehow escapes the pressure and gets positive yardage out of that. So now 3rd and 9, Land throws to his left, completes to his receiver, Fain, and gets crushed there by the St. Joe's defender. That is number 15, Ryan Flowers. A nice hit there.
Takes a couple of hobble steps before being absolutely crushed at the 10-yard line.
This has just been a methodical drive so far by Hope. Last week against Leo, they split up 21 points in each, or 20 points in the first half, 21 in the second. So this is exactly the start Hope has wanted.
Yeah, and as you can see on that replay there, brought down at the 10.
As Trevor Land takes it himself once again, gets it down to the 2-yard line for the Eagles. So now it'll be 1st and goal for the Eagles at the 2-yard line.
And if you're Coach Petrosky, you got to start wondering how we're going to contain this quarterback.
Absolutely. And here is Land in a pistol formation. Takes the snap and a flag on the play. That will be a false start on the Eagles. Oh, they're calling an encroachment.
There you go, Ben. Once again, penalties are going to cost you.
And it looks like they've been having trouble getting guys in and out of the plays. Granted, the Hope offense is running pretty up tempo in this spread type offense.
So now it is 2nd and goal in the same formation, and once again another defensive penalty for the Chargers. That will be another encroachment.
It just looks like this Chargers defense is trying to get a quick jump off the line to try and get in the backfield, try and contain Trevor Land just a little, as much as they can.
You can't get too anxious there on defense, and I know that's really hard when you're staring your opponents down on your own 2-yard line.
Yeah, that was nearly the entire defensive line there. As Land once again, another offensive.
Goodness.
That is number 60.
Kyle Johnston, number 68, coming off that left edge.
And that's 3 consecutive.
And that's the play. He's done that 3 times in a row. As you said, trying to get a head start. Same guy, absolutely.
Now I wonder if Petrosky's going to have a talk with him there. as they continue to run the clock. 7 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first quarter here.
Now,
you're starting to wonder if maybe this is something in practice that he's trying to time the snap enough to where he's jumping just a hair off sides, because there's no way you can do this 4 times in a row on accident.
What's half of a quarter of a yard, an eighth of a yard? How do you measure that?
Exactly. This could be something that they talked about if they're down near the goal line, maybe try and get a jump.
And let's try it for a 5th time.
He did it again.
There we
Oh
go
my
again.
goodness.
At this point, they have to be doing this on purpose. There's no way this can happen 5 times in a row by accident.
I feel like I'm watching some sort of skit.
And that was Kyle Johnston once again for the Chargers.
5 straight times. Now, technically, we're on the 116th yard line. Is that correct?
At this point, the referee is having a talk with the head coach of St. Joe's because he can't believe what's going on. Coach Richard Petrosky.
Yeah, he doesn't look too happy
right,
about
well,
this. I wonder what the
timeout
problem could
St.
be.
Joe's. Interesting. Petrosky's going to bring over his team as he continues to motion at the referee. Bet they're talking about maybe spotting the ball at the 116th yard line.
Absolutely. So Coach Petrosky and the referee are now having a long talk headed towards the St. Joe's sideline. And you have to wonder, I mean, will this, if Chicago Hope Academy scores a touchdown, you wonder if he's probably telling him there if they draw another encroachment, that will be affected on the kickoff if the Eagles score there.
Yeah, it could be. And if you're St. Joseph's, this is exactly the opening defensive drive you didn't want. Going back to that first penalty, 3rd and 10 looks a whole lot different than 3rd and 5, and this has just been a methodical, about 5-minute drive so far, and this is exactly what you didn't want if you're St. Joseph's. You wanted a quick stop, not let the Hope Eagles get into any sort of rhythm, but we'll see if they can get a stop here with two more downs to go.
I definitely think St. Joe's is definitely nervous here now after getting a talking to from Coach Petrosky. Do you think we'll see another encroachment penalty? This obviously would be unintentional.
I hope not. As you were saying, Ben, that was a critical 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles as they converted on that 1st down, and that's been the difference of this opening drive. As Trevor Land takes the snap, and he is finally in for the touchdown. No encroachment there on that play, guys.
Honestly, it looked close. If we can take a look at the replay here, honestly, I think that was a little bit close. Let's see what we got here. As we take a look at this replay, see he goes out into the left and brings it into the end zone. But if we go back just a second, you can see it looks like he was definitely encroached upon. Take a look there at the beginning of the play.
Yeah, maybe just a hair, maybe not. But
again,
it looks like that St. Joseph's defense is trying to time up the snap as much as they can.
As the extra point is up and good, so that makes it 7-0. The Eagles on top of the Chargers here early on in this first quarter.
And it'll be tougher for St. Joseph's to contain Land running close to the goal line. Is on that scoring play. They brought in 2 running backs just simply to block for him, lead the way, get that initial push on the offensive line, and that's 6 for them.
So there's 7:16 left in this first quarter. Chicago Hope Academy up 7-0 on St. Joseph Chargers, and that was really, really interesting there at the goal line. I'm still confused as to what Coach Petrosky was trying to do there. I don't know if that was planned or what, but when you draw an encroachment 5 times in a row, you have to wonder.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just got to be something they might have practiced, that they're just trying to get the exact timing down, get a head start on Hope's offensive line in hopes of getting to Trevor Land before he can beat you with his feet or with his arm.
So Chicago Hope Academy here is getting set to kick off right to left. That is number 10, William Zanis for the Eagles. And he will be kicking off to number 14, Desmond McPhail. And on the far sideline is, see, he's covering up his number there with his hands.
I believe that's...
So Zanis is ready for the kickoff.
Might be Trayson Timms.
And there it is. It goes to number 13. That's Zach Ford, and he takes it to the far sideline, tries to turn up the field, takes a big hit, and he makes it to about the 25-yard line of the Chargers. So they will set up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
I think this opening drive is going to tell us a lot about what we can expect the rest of the game from the St. Joseph Chargers. Chicago Hope came out that first drive, put a methodical, just under 5-minute drive together. I think it'll be important for St. Joseph's to come out and respond quickly before Hope can come back out on the field and get into more of a rhythm than they already are.
So here we go. The other number 9, Caleb Hayden, this time for the Chargers on the opening drive for the Chargers.
Let's see what they can do here.
As he drops back in shotgun, throws to the middle of the field to number 13, Zach Ford, and he had it in his hands. Just goes right through his hands there. Beautiful pass there by Hayden.
I think there's going to be some opportunities to go to the middle of the field for Hayden. It looks like that Hope is pressing on the receivers at the line of scrimmage, not really having a safety back. If they do, they keep number 14 back for the Hope defense. So if the offensive line can hold the Chicago Hope defensive rush, there might be some opportunities for one of their receivers.
Yeah, that's Neil Campbell sitting back for the Eagles, as you were saying, Ben. So here it is, 2nd and 10 for the Chargers. As he takes the snap and shotgun once again, rolls to his right and is pressured right away. And he is met by 2 Eagles there, one of which was number 24, Nick White, on the sack.
That is a big, and costly loss there.
So
third down is what we're going to be set.
So now it's going to be 3rd down and forever, all the way back to the Chargers' 10-yard line.
It's almost like Chicago Hope's just daring St. Joseph's to try and block them up front.
Yeah, so now that's Jaquez Bailey sitting back there for the Eagles as Hayden takes the snap, throws to the middle of the field, and it is caught by number 88, Malik Mason.
But he doesn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. So now we're looking at a 4th and 13.
That was about
as they bring on the kicking crew.
10-yard pass there. So now they are at their own 20, and they will definitely be punting here.
Not a whole lot of time taken off the clock. Kind of discouraging opening drive for St. Joseph's. Had some trouble along the offensive line, containing the defensive line for Chicago Hope. Only completing 1 pass that opening drive.
And the all-purpose man, Zach Ford, he can do it all. Also, the Chargers punter is back there set to punt to the Eagles.
And we have a
number 14, Neil Campbell.
Timeout called by Chicago Hope.
Timeout.
And a timeout is called by the Eagles. So really, a really disappointing opening drive, as you were saying, Ben. They had an opportunity right there on 1st down with a nice pass from Hayden to Zach Ford. He just couldn't handle the pass, and it just went downhill from that point on.
Yeah, and they were just too far behind the chains on 3rd down. They did complete the pass, but kind of demoralizing here as Chicago Hope isn't by any means an exceptional defensive team. It looks like they might have had some personnel problems on this punt return, but if you're St. Joseph's, you definitely wanted to come out and at least get something as far as yardage goes.
So Neil Campbell for the Eagles is set to receive the punt from Zach Ford for a 2nd try.
And on 4th and 13, here comes the kick.
A high snap, and Zach Ford gets the punt off. A short punt at the 50-yard line, and it will take a favorable bounce for the Chargers, and it sits at the 40-yard line of the Eagles.
Now, if you're kicking the ball from, let's say, the 5 or 6 yard line and get it all the way to the opposing 40, that's not all too bad. That definitely took a favorable bounce, about a 10-yard roll right there.
It barely made it to the Chargers 40, so that was an extreme. That's about 20 yards there. 20 yards of bounce.
So we'll see what St. Joseph's can do now. Now I think is the time where you start looking at the temperature tonight and what kind of factor that'll play. This Charger defense wasn't off the field for all that long. 3 and out for the offense opening drive, so it'll be interesting how they respond here.
And now Trevor Land takes the snap, looks back to pass, and getting pressured and is taken down by the Chargers defense. First to get there is number 90 there. No, that has to be number 80.
Doesn't appear that our rosters are exactly up to date as we take a look at that play again. There was a nice, good sack there for St. Joe's, and that's going to bring up 2nd and long here. Looks like 2nd and about 15 as you see that play.
So Land is set.
Right
and
here,
there is
we're looking here. He's dancing in this corner and then gets taken down big time.
Looks like it was encroachment on Antonio Flournoy.
Another encroachment for the Chargers.
Coming off that left side of the defensive line for the Chargers.
That has to be a record for encroachment calls in this first quarter.
Are we at 7?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think we're at 7. 7 encroachment
As Land
calls.
sends his man in motion, he takes it himself, tries to run up the middle, and is met by the Chargers defensive line. First to get there was number 88, Malik Mason.
For all of his encroachment penalties on that first drive, I think Kyle Johnson's doing a very good job, at least he did on this last play, on containing that run-pass option to the right side, not allowing Trevor Land to get to the outside, possibly break this play open.
So now it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Eagles here.
St. Joe's has got that QB contained down. It appears as though Coach Petrosky has figured them out.
Maybe those encroachments
getting worried about a
worked
delayed
out.
game call here.
As Land is in shotgun, takes the snap, looking to run towards the left side and gets crushed there by number 68, Kyle Johnston. A beautiful play by the Chargers defensive lineman, and he gets a gain of 0.
And that all started with Malik Mason coming off that right edge, blew right past the guy who was trying to guard him. That forced Land to use his feet, move out of the pocket, and not get anything out of that play.
And you can definitely assume the defensive coordinator, Tawan Brown, for the Chargers, definitely talked to them about how to contain this powerful quarterback.
And this is absolutely something this Chargers defense needed after that quick offensive drive stalled for them, and after giving up that opening drive touchdown to put them down 7-0.
4th and 10 is what we have here.
So now the Eagles are set to punt. That is number 56, Keyshawn Kraft, and he fakes the punt and runs up the far sideline and does not get the 4th down conversion. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Eagles for the Chargers.
I don't mind that play call that much from Hope. That I think that at the moment, after that opening drive, they're probably confident enough in their initial push they're getting on the offensive line that 45 yards at this moment is going to feel like a lot for the Chargers.
Just did not have enough to get by. So St. Joe's will take over at the Hope Academy 43-yard line, beginning a 1st and 10 with 2 minutes and 57 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
So here is Caleb Hayden with an empty back set. And a fumble there and recovered right away by the Eagles. A miscommunication on the handoff. So now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. What a change of events. Just when you think the momentum has changed, as we are looking at the replay there, and just a bad exchange on the handoff.
Looks like St. Joseph's is running a similar type offense to Hope. They spread you out. They run a lot of run-pass options. They just want to get their playmakers the ball in space. Other than this sort of run-pass option that they just ran and fumbled on, you're going to see a lot of mesh routes, a lot of underneath routes, just trying to get the ball in open spaces as much as they can.
So now it is 1st and 10 at their own 48 for the Eagles, and Land hands it off to number 1, LaFabian Fain, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. And he might have got 1 yard with forward progress there.
Fabian Fain on the carry, brought down by Shamar McDade.
This D-line, as we're watching tonight, is getting tougher and tougher. And you said number 52 down there, Shamar McDade Bishop with the tackle. We're going to be seeing a lot from him tonight.
As Land hands the ball off to Fain once again, Fain breaks 1 tackle, gets it to the Chargers' 45-yard line. So it'll be second and 4. Actually, excuse me. That's going to be 3rd and 4 for the Eagles.
So far, they're doing a good job of this drive, not giving up a big play for allowing Chicago Hope to get in that second level.
And another encroachment penalty against the Chargers. That is 8 in just this quarter. And you got to wonder, I mean, what is going on now?
I mean, it's this defense just trying to time the cadence. They're going to need any sort of jump on the snap that they can get, because this offense is so fast, so high-powered, and with Trevor Land at quarterback for how fast he is and how much he can kill you with his legs, this has to be something planned pre-game, that try to get any jump that you can. But these penalties are killing them so far. A stop there would have been huge.
And here is Land taking the snap as he drops back to pass, being pressured, breaks the pressure, and gets back to the loses about 2 yards there on the sack. There was all sorts of pressure there from the Chargers.
Land is definitely a dancer. He knows how to dodge a couple of tackles, losing about 2 yards on that play. But he started back about 8 yards, so he walked through about 6 yards of St. Joe's defense before eventually being taken down for a loss, and that brings up 2nd and 12, just under a minute to play in this first quarter.
And here's Land once again sending Fabian in motion, and a screen play blown up by the Chargers defense. And once again, that was Malik Mason blowing up the play. And the Chargers force a 3rd and 12 for the Eagles. So another big 3rd down for the Chargers.
And you see St. Joe's defense is really starting to shine here, and I'm excited to see what they're doing here. But we just got to get their feet in a beat, so to speak. Oh, there you go. Get their feet in a beat, so to speak.
So 37 seconds left in this.
To not cause encroachment penalties, that's what I was just saying. They are trying to figure out the cadence, like you just said. However, the 9th encroachment penalty, and now this is a problem because this is a 3rd and 12 that's now a somewhat manageable, and definitely you can convert on a 3rd and 7 as the clock starts running again.
And Malik Mason had just made a play, and now he gets the encroachment. So there is still 37 seconds left. Eagles with the ball. It is 3rd and 7. As he takes the snap, looks to pass, steps up in the pocket, throws to the middle, and passes complete to Fain. Is incomplete. Or no, it is complete, and they will be just short. So it'll be 4th and inches for the Eagles. Let's see if it looks like they'll go for it here on 4th down.
St. Joseph, they've done a decent job of containing Fain so far. Fain's been the guy that they put in motion in that run-pass option, whether they can hand it off and just there on that pass, no yards after the catch.
As they are in a bit of a pistol formation, and they let the clock run down, and that will be the end of the first quarter. At the end of one, Chicago Hope Academy Eagles up 7-0 on the St. Joseph Chargers. As we will take a quick timeout, and we will be back on the other side at the start of the second quarter here at Elmhurst College, streaming live on the Illinois Media School Facebook page.
I want to have a job in something I love. I want to have fun and meet new people. I want to be social. The Illinois Media School has so many cool things they offer for me and their students. With the amount of stuff you learn, there's no way you won't succeed. You'll learn how to do a voiceover, how to use camera equipment. I mean, actual hands-on. You can even host your own radio or TV show. All of our instructors actually work in the industry too. So go to beonair.com and start your future in broadcasting today. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
The Illinois Media School and the Chicago Cubs Single A affiliate in South Bend, Indiana are teaming up.
Come back.
The
Welcome back to Elmhurst College, home of the Blue Jays, as the Chicago Hope Academy Eagles are up 7-0 on the St. Joseph Chargers. And another encroachment call on the Chargers. That is 10 now.
Is that Johnston again?
I wouldn't.
Didn't quite catch the number, but still, at this point you gotta let the snap come out first.
So Land for the Eagles in shotgun, takes the snap, drops back to pass, looks down the middle of the field, a wide open man, number 14, Neil Campbell, and he tries to make the one-handed grab over the shoulder, and he drops a touchdown pass. A beautiful pass there by Trevor Land.
Yeah, and on that he ran straight past who I believe was number.
That was Zach Ford, I believe.
Zach, I think he just blew right past Zach Ford. So I wonder if maybe they'll give him some help. Put a safety over the top, give him a little help on there. Yeah, Zach Ford was at safety. I think that was maybe McPhail or Desmond McPhail on the coverage. Yeah, that's Desmond McPhail who was matched up with Fain on that previous play.
So Neil Campbell tried to get a little too cute there with the one-handed grab, ends up dropping it, and here is Land once again in the shotgun, and a false start. That will be on number 20, Jordan Gracia for the Eagles, so that'll bring them back, and it'll be 2nd and 15 for the Eagles. So they have it at the Chargers' 31-yard line. As Land gets the call from his sideline, to his left is running back Derek Williams. And he throws him out wide on the far sideline, receives the snap, throws it to Derek Williams, and he is all alone, runs up the sideline and tries to break a tackle from Zach Ford, but Zach Ford brings him down, and it is at the first down marker. It is yet to be seen if it is a first down or not for the Eagles.
Yeah, it just didn't look like anyone had followed Williams out when he got set in motion. That allowed him to get 10 yards kind of unfestered on that play.
And he had a lot of room to run as he had blockers downfield as receivers were blocking for him. And another false start for the Eagles. That is number 58, Patrick Ross. So it'll be 3rd and 6 now, so that was not a first down conversion for the Eagles. So it will be 3rd and 6 now for the Eagles. Let's see if the Chargers can get a big stop here. As Land is in shotgun once again, and he takes it himself, tries to break it out to the outside, and his knees buckle, and he goes down at the 26-yard line. And it looks like he is down with a knee injury. His knees buckled there at the end. He tried making one cut, and he just went straight down.
Yeah, that was a non-contact play that he went down on. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. It's that right leg on. That's just terrible to see.
He tried breaking it to the outside, and then he tried making a move upfield. When he made that cut with his right plant leg, his knee buckled there, and that could be a catastrophic injury for the Eagles. And both trainers are out there. That is a sad sight to see. As you see Trevor Land still laying on the ground there. This can take a while. As we are looking at the replay right here, Land tries to break it out to the outside and then tries to break it upfield, and his right knee just buckled there and completely collapsed. And the referee knew right away, as we were taking another look at it right here. And he takes the snap, goes up, then to the right, then tries to go up once again, and you just see his right leg there just completely collapse.
And he is still laying on the field as the trainers are coming out to help with him.
Hands on his head.
Yeah, this is going to be a catastrophic loss for Hope Academy tonight. I mean, I can't foresee him coming back in the game. I mean, hopefully that this isn't some long-term injury, but certainly at this moment, it does not look good. I'm just looking at the roster so far. I mean, coming in, backup quarterback would be Javon Bailey, the senior, but only at 5'5", 140 pounds. I mean, that's the only other quarterback I see listed on this roster.
And that would be a huge loss. Also, we have Jaden Pankow, the outside linebacker, number 16. He's at 5'10", 180, so maybe he will, as we see Land getting taken off the field, being helped by the trainers of the Eagles. And
his right leg is just hovering. It's not even touching the ground. No pressure, no nothing.
He can't put any weight on his right leg there, so you have to think that's a knee injury of some sort. Maybe, I mean, just from looking at that replay that we saw a couple of times when he tried making that cut upfield, it wasn't a pretty sight to see.
So now coming on this 4th and 6, it'll be interesting to see how Chicago Hope responds to the loss to one of their leaders in their sophomore quarterback. Definitely one of the most explosive players on this team, and probably arguably the most important player on this team.
So it looks like it will be Jaden Pankow, number 16 for the Eagles, that will go in at quarterback now. And we haven't seen him. I mean, who knows how conservative the Eagles will be now. You have to think that they will be run heavy with number 23, Derek Williams, alongside their fellow running back, Eric Green, number 22. So that is Derek Williams in the backfield with number 16, Jaden Pankow. As he takes the snap, looks to pass on the first play and pressure right away. That was number 88. He spins away from the pressure, but ends up getting taken down on 4th down. So that'll be a turnover on downs for the Eagles, and the Chargers will take over at their own 27-yard line.
Pankow did look a little nervous on that play. The pocket started to close just a little bit, and as soon as he saw any sort of pressure coming through, he ditched the play and ran.
As we have another injury on the field, this time it is for the Chargers. That's back-to-back plays now. I can't see his number there. So now, I believe that's Malik Mason, number 88.
That's a big, big loss. Yep, he's rolling down. Now he's sitting on the ground here trying to roll.
Now he gets up.
Looks to be that left arm.
Yeah, he is grabbing his left forearm as he is walking towards his sideline. Seems to be fine at this point as he waves his hand. He's taking his helmet off.
On the topic of injuries, I know we were watching last week against Catalyst Maria. Shamar McDade Bishop went down a couple of times holding his right arm and then continuing to do cycles. So we got to watch that. His right arm doesn't give him any issues tonight. Hopefully it's doing better for him.
As he is a two-way player, plays the offensive line and the defensive line. So now, after quite a bit of a break, a lull in the action, if you will, here is Caleb Hayden in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to pass, looking left to Zach Ford, deep downfield, and just overthrows him. Ford was wide open there, and Hayden cannot connect.
Yeah, he just ran past the 5'9" junior Eric Mullen for Hope Academy. If he can find a little bit of if St. Joseph's can find a little bit of touch from Hayden on their passes going forward, they might have something downfield.
Yeah, that looked like it opened up nicely for Zach Ford. He just couldn't get to the ball, just a bit overthrown there by Hayden. As Hayden gets the snap, rolls to his right, and throws it down the field, and it is caught by number 30,
And there's a flag on the play as
that
well.
That will be Dylan Castillo. It looks like it'll be a pass interference as Castillo looked to adjust to the ball and was stopped.
Let's take a look at that replay here. Look at that catch, but there is a flag on the field. As you can see, it was thrown down there. I'm thinking pass interference, but if we get another good look at that play.
Yeah, that was Tim Shannon on the defense for the Eagles, so.
Yeah, the ball was just a little bit underthrown, had to go back and get it, so that could be where the penalty is coming from.
Take a look again. Look, that ball is grabbed. I'm not really sure what the penalty might have been there.
The Chargers receivers ran into each other. They were fighting for the reception, and they did call the pass interference, and the penalty was declined. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 48-yard line as the ball is moving now for the Chargers, and Hayden is back in the shotgun, and he takes the snap, hands it off to number 12. That is Amir Bergy. Goes to the far sideline, gets about 4 yards for the Chargers.
And Amir Bergy is definitely a key player on this St. Joe's offense. We haven't seen much of him tonight.
I believe this is the first time we're calling his name.
Yeah, but we will definitely be seeing more of him. I can guarantee you of that. Amir Bergy is 5'10", 165, the senior running back, and he can definitely pack some speed to this offense.
They might be padding a few inches there on the height. I don't know if he looks 5'10" there for the Chargers.
I think he's about closer to 5'6".
There we go.
As the Chargers draw an encroachment on the Eagles this time.
So that's a combined 12 encroachment and or false start, 13 encroachment and or false start penalties in the first half.
And mostly by the Chargers.
Mostly by the Chargers, of course, but let's not forget.
I think part of it's game planning. Part of it could be the fatigue, too, from the warm weather tonight.
Mm-hmm. So now it'll be 2nd and 3 at the 41-yard line of the Eagles as Hayden is ready to take the snap. And this time, another penalty. This time it is a false start on the Chargers. So just when you get 5 yards, you will move back 5 yards.
You get some, you give some.
Yeah, the false start giveth and the false start taketh away.
Yeah, so now it'll be 2nd and 8 with 10 minutes and 11 seconds here to go in the first half. Chicago Hope Academy up 7-0 on the Chargers as Hayden looks to take the snap as he does, and he hands it off to Bergy, and he moves up the field, takes a big hit.
And there is a flag on the play.
Another flag. That's 3 flags in a row, and it's at the line of scrimmage, so it looks like holding on the Chargers.
But we definitely saw that speed we were just discussing with Amir Bergy, and yeah, I'm thinking maybe around 5'8", 5'9" there for Amir Bergy. I'm not exactly thinking 5'10".
So on the program for St. Joe's, they have Bergy listed at 5'10", and for MaxPreps.com, they have him listed as 5'6". So we'll just go right in the middle, and we'll call it 5'8".
We'll give him 5'8". I don't know why he wouldn't want to take the 5'6". I mean, 5'6", you're a little bit smaller, a little bit harder to tackle and make guys miss, but it was encouraging to see on that last one, the hold notwithstanding. If Bergy can get in that second level, he's small and he's shifty enough to where he can make defenders miss and keep the Chicago Hope defense on their toes.
So now it'll be 2nd and long at the Chargers' 45-yard line as Hayden looks to take the snap with Bergy to his left. And he does, and he hands it off to Bergy, and Bergy tries to cut it up the middle and gets met before he can even get to the line of scrimmage. It will be 3rd and
17
for the Chargers.
And this is kind of what we saw that first drive from St. Joseph's, that where they kind of get behind the change with penalties or with penetration from the Chicago Hope defense to where they're playing catch-up later in the downs, and that they just can't overcome that.
So now Hayden in the shotgun once again with his right-hand man to his left. Bergy takes the snap, looks to pass, and throws to Zach Ford, who had it and then drops it at the 45-yard line. So it'll be 4th down and 17 for the Chargers, and they will punt.
I got to say, just a quick tidbit on Zach Ford there. I love those gold shoes. I think those are really awesome. He stands out a little bit from everybody else there.
I see the gold trim there. You are
That's-
right. And
yeah,
he
those
is
are
the
nice
punter.
shoes.
So, you know,
Yeah.
punters and kickers, they like to show
Flare
off
it
their
up.
show off the cleats.
I like that.
See, and if I'm St. Joseph's here, I might have thought about going for it on 4th, and I know it's 4 and 20. But still, you have a new quarterback coming in for Chicago Hope and
Absolutely.
Pankow that may be a big play, throwing downfield, at worst, maybe intercepted.
As Ford punts the ball towards the sideline, and it will go out at the 33-yard line of the Eagles. Check that. Make it the 29. Oh, 32-yard line. The linesman there went all the way back to the 29 and then walked up to the 32. So that was interesting there.
And you can, I mean, you can't see it on camera here. Actually, yes, you can. Towards the bottom left
The
corner of your screen, you
imprint.
can clearly see where that ball landed. I don't know why he was all the way down at the 29. That clearly, that ball landed on the 32. You can see in that lower left corner.
So usually it's not where the ball lands out of bounds. It's when it goes out from the sideline. So here we are with the Eagles on offense at their own 32-yard line with their new quarterback, Jaden Pankow.
This is Jaden's second play.
And he takes the snap and hands it off to number 1, LaFabian Fain, and he gets about 3 yards.
Fabian Fain on the carry.
And I'm wondering if this trend's going to continue of having Fain just straight out of the backfield
Yeah.
with in their opening drives with Trevor Land, they'd put Fain in motion, kind of have this option between either Land or Fain, and I just don't know if the mobility of Pankow is going to be there.
That's why I was so confused why they opened up with the pass for Pankow as he takes the snap and hands it off once again, and he is met before he can even get to the line of scrimmage. That's LaFabian Fain once again on back-to-back carries for him.
I mean, at the moment, it just appears that maybe Hope doesn't have the confidence in Pankow now to make those decisions with Fain coming in motion, or maybe he just doesn't have the same mobility or not. But it's not really fooling the St. Joseph's defense just playing straight 2 running backs.
And Coach Petrosky's going off on the sideline there on his team there. He is fired up, as you see on your lower half of your screen. Petrosky is definitely fired up. I'm not sure what exactly he's
As it is
yelling to his
3rd
team
and
there.
6 now, and Pankow hands the ball off to Fain on a jet sweep and gets met at the 36-yard line of the Eagles by a host of Chargers.
Wow, and this energy in the stadium and on the team just went up from 0 to 60 real quick.
Yeah, Coach Petrosky.
Coach Petrosky is definitely getting fired up, getting the fans into it as well. A big play ends up in 4th down and 6. 4th and 4,
Make it
my
4th and
apologies.
4 with 7:35 left in this first half. Chicago Hope Academy Eagles still on top 7-0 over the Chargers as they are getting set to punt with number 10, William Zanis.
And this has been the blueprint for St. Joseph's coming into the game. Even with Land out of the game now, you don't want Chicago Hope to get in any sort of rhythm. Keep the scoring low. Have short drives for the Chicago Hope offense. Keep your defense off the field and give yourself a shot.
And here is the punt by Zanis. A beautiful punt right to Ford, and it just hops up right in the air, and it is downed by number 26 for the Eagles. That is Pankow. Oh, no, excuse me. That is Gerard Pankow. Must be the brother of Jaden Pankow.
We can only assume.
Yeah.
I would assume
So it was-
younger, correct, based on what we're looking
yeah,
at.
so it was down there at the 34, make that the 33-yard line of the Chargers.
I don't think we anticipated having a Pankow family discussion here
We
tonight.
did not. As the Chargers take the field, Hayden looks to his left to get the call from the sideline. Puts Bergie in motion. Now it is an empty back set. 3 receivers towards the bottom. And he is pressured as he breaks the pressure, rolls to his right and throws deep downfield. And it is intercepted by number 6, Justin Adams. And he is returning it down the far sideline. Gets to the 25 of the St. Joe's. And that is unfortunate for the Chargers.
That is back-to-back turnovers. Let's take a look at the play here. You can see he does miss that tackle, but throws off, and the ball is just taken away there. You said by Justin Adams there.
And he did a good job to get out of the pressure to avoid the sack there, but I think he was just trying to do a little bit too much there.
Absolutely.
Didn't set himself up to threw off his back foot, didn't quite have the arm, and that leads to the interception.
He definitely forced it there. I mean, he had plenty of time when he avoided the initial rush. He had plenty of time to survey the field, and there was no one open there down the field, so he should have maybe taken it himself. We know he has athleticism, and he just decided to throw the ball there and forced one.
Let's see what Hope does with great field position on the 22.
So now the Eagles with the ball in shotgun, and they hand it off to LaFabian Fain. And LaFabian Fain, a force down the middle of the field, gets some tough yards all the way to the 15, make that the 14-yard line of the Chargers. So it'll be 2nd and 1 for the Eagles.
And it looks like this Hope offense is just going to rely on Fain straight out of the backfield going forward. It doesn't look like Pankow can do much so far, at least with his arm. We haven't seen anything yet with his legs, so it looks like it's going to be a whole lot of Fain.
So now Pankow takes the snap, hands it off to Fain. Once again, Fain goes towards the left sideline, and it is met once again by a host of Chargers. A gain of about 6 yards, and they will be at the Chargers' 6-yard line. So now it'll be first and goal for the Eagles here, and the same formation with Williams and Fain in the backfield joining Pankow as he takes the snap, hands it off to Fain once again. Flags all over the field. A touchdown on the field. There are flags on the field, so this one might be coming back once again at the line of scrimmage.
There were some conflicting signals there in the end zone as the linesman approached, holding his hands in the air in the touchdown formation. There you go.
A false start. Illegal motion on the Eagles, excuse me, so that'll bring them back.
Hope has had success bringing in Williams into the backfield as well with Fain to have him be that lead blocker at 5'11", 225. Kind of something similar we saw their first opening touchdown that Hope had, is that they bring a lead blocker out of the backfield, kind of so that this Hope team can get 5-6 yards at a clip.
And here we are again as Pankow takes the snap, and to Fain again, who goes upfield, breaks one tackle, is being dragged by another, and makes it all the way to the 5-yard line. Make that the 4-yard line of the Chargers. A nice run there, a gain of about 6 or 7 for Fain.
It's been tough on the St. Joseph's defense that they've been set up with such bad field position defensively that the last 2 possessions that St. Joseph's have been playing from about midfield.
As Pankow takes the snap once again, and another run for Fain, this time met at the line of scrimmage by number 93 for the Chargers. That is Antonio Flournoy. So it'll be 3rd and goal at the 2-yard line for the Eagles.
And I would think the defense at this point might be starting to feel that they got to kind of put this game on their shoulders. We're more than a quarter and a half into this. The St. Joseph offense hasn't been able to really sustain any sort of a drive, so maybe they'll be looking to get 2 stops here.
Yes, just over 4 minutes to go in this first half as another flag on the play.
I believe that was encroachment once again.
No, it was not.
I'm almost positive it was.
It was.
It was encroachment. I'm almost positive.
So this has to be strategy from the St. Joseph's defensive coordinators, or even coming from the head coach, that when they're getting down to the goal line, what's a yard, what's a half a yard, if you can time the snap perfectly, get into the backfield.
I mean, you'd have to think once they get to the red zone, they just keep.
In the end, it doesn't matter. At this point, like we're in the double digits encroachments, but 75% of these are down the goal line where.
Oh my goodness!
And
another one. Wow. So in the first half, we've had, I think we're at 15.
This is absolutely uncalled for. I don't know what is going on here with the Chargers. I mean, why are you giving them yards? It's just you're just making it easier on them. You're not frustrating the Eagles. They're moving up. You have to be frustrated yourselves.
And at this point, with Land out of the game, you don't have that threat, that rushing threat at quarterback anymore.
Right. As Pankow takes it himself and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. That is touchdown Eagles, Jaden Pankow. So now it is 13-0 Eagles over the Chargers here late stages of the first half.
Now, if you're Coach Petrosky, you got to be asking yourself, are these encroachment penalties worth it at this point? Because you haven't been getting the rhythm. You haven't been figuring out what this Eagles offense is doing. You haven't been able to get a jump on them, and it's costing you points at this point now.
Yeah, I mean, and this defense has got to be getting tired, too, with the weather and the amount of time they're out in the field, that this might just be kind of a mental thing.
And now for the PAT for the Eagles, it is up and it is good. So make it 14-0. The Eagles, with their backup quarterback, get a touchdown drive with 3:35 left in this first half. You have to think, I mean, with just over 3.5 left in this first half, the Chargers have to get something going offensively to get some sort of momentum going into the second half, into halftime.
And their offense is capable. They scored 29 points last week. They scored 69 points, albeit to a pretty injured South Beloit team 2 weeks ago. But this isn't a Chicago Hope defense that, by any means, is a shutout-type team. You have to get something here going into the half if you want to keep it close. Granted, St. Joseph's will be getting the ball after halftime, so it'll be encouraging for the offense at least to get something together, even if they don't score.
There's a flag on the play here as we were getting set for the kick. I'm not exactly sure.
Sideline warning.
Yeah, sideline violation.
So that is a sideline warning on Coach Petrosky for the Chargers, and he has been riled up as you were mentioning, Evan. So he has to be careful here. He doesn't want to look, here he is again, walking onto the field,
I'm getting
delaying
nervous,
the kickoff.
especially with a referee coming up behind him. He's talking to me. He's still walking. Oh my goodness. He's definitely going to need to back up right now as the team's starting to walk off the sideline. You got to wonder what he is doing right now.
As the referee, and they are calling the players to come back toward the sideline.
Petrosky is definitely being defiant. Well, now he's cooperating. As you can see, he's walking off to the sideline there.
What is going on here? I mean, he was calling for the referee. The referee was avoiding him. The head linesman is the one who called the sideline warning, and now they are arguing. It looks like they are arguing, the referee and Coach Petrosky. But now he walks away. The referee walks back onto the field. And now let's see if we can get this kickoff going.
Now, I'm not exactly familiar with sideline warnings. What exactly does that cost you there?
So that's just a warning.
Just a warning. All right.
But the next one will be a flag.
Okay.
Penalty, I think personal foul, possibly 10 to 15 yards. I believe 15 yards for the next one.
So it's something along the lines of unsportsmanlike.
Correct.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
And
there it is.
Another flag is up. You can see it thrown on.
I'm not even sure what happened on that one.
I don't know.
I mean, it has to be coming from the sideline.
We can see they're converging in the middle there. Now they're walking off towards the side.
There it is, the unsportsmanlike conduct. It will be on head coach Petrosky and the Chargers. So that will move the kickoff up to the 45-yard line of the Chargers. So this will be very tough. I mean, what do the Eagles here? Do you think they pooch kick it maybe and back the Chargers up here?
Honestly, I don't think it really matters too much for the Eagles. I think they're confident enough in their defense right now. They haven't given up anything yet tonight. But really, for them, they don't want this to be kind of a rallying cry for the St. Joseph's team, as we can hear hear the crowd getting the most pumped up they've been all night for the St. Joseph's team.
I wouldn't be surprised to honestly see a squib kick here, not for the sake of time, but just for the sake of
Field
a little bit
position.
of confusion and field position, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's see what we get here.
So here we are finally with the kickoff, and it gets all the way through the end zone, so that will be a touchback. And the Chargers will take it at the 20-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Chargers with 3:35 here left in this first half.
I need to find the stat sheet for how many penalties have happened tonight.
And I'm wondering, we haven't quite got word, but I'm wondering if that's what the sideline warnings with Petrosky are coming from, if he's not happy with the way that's being called or the timing of it. But it's been a yellow first half for St. Joseph's.
Yeah, I don't really see what he was complaining to the refs about. I mean, he has his defense as Hayden hands the ball off to Bergie, and he gets about 1 yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9. So as I was saying with Coach Petrosky, I mean, he and his defense have been causing quite a delay in this game.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of dirty laundry on the field tonight.
As Hayden is in the shotgun, and he drops back to pass, being pressured, tries to roll to his right, and it is taken down. The ball is fumbled. He fumbles the ball, and it is recovered by number 25, Eric Mullen of the Eagles. So it'll be first and goal for the Eagles inside the 10.
And really, that's probably the worst case scenario that could have went for this St. Joseph's offense, is that now the defense is yet again forced to deal with bad field position for the 2nd consecutive series. They had done so well after Land had left the game to kind of contain the Chicago Hope offense, but when they're starting from within the 20, that kind of hampers the St. Joseph defense.
As we take a look at this replay here, you see he sets back and then rolls to the right, but then is tackled, and the ball is slipped loose. We can't exactly see it. Not a good angle here. But then he is end up being taken down around the 5.
In the end, it's Eric Ruiz who comes up with that.
And so it is 1st and goal. Pankow oh my goodness, what a massive hit there by number 52, and that is one of our highlighted players, Shamar McDade Bishop, with a huge hit on Fane. Wow, and that gets the Chargers fans going.
And we were talking about Freight Train, Shamar McDade Bishop. It's my guy right there, coming through and delivering a monstrous hit.
I am surprised that LaFabian Fane was able to get up from that hit. As you see, they had him split out wide now, and a timeout is called on the field by the Chargers. So there is 2:26 left in this first half, and it has been all Eagles here, where this has been an odd first half.
Definitely.
I mean, with all the flags and the injury to the Eagles' star quarterback, Trevor Land, I mean, what else are we going to see here?
I mean, it's just been a disjointed game, and I think that's the way it's going to continue in the second half, is that, Trevor Land gave any sort of consistency to this Chicago Hope Eagles offense, and with him coming out of the game, even though Hope has been able to score with good field position, they haven't been able to find any sort of rhythm or consistency on their side of the ball. The one thing I am interested in is to see if the St. Joseph's offensive line can contain the Hope defense, because that's just been the recipe so far for the Chicago Hope defense, is that they're just going to challenge the St. Joseph's offensive line to contain them. They haven't been able to so far, as we saw on that last fumble.
Yeah, and Ben, you and I had kind of keys to the game talk before right at the beginning of this game here, and we said they need to avoid penalties and turnovers.
And what's been the story for them the first half?
And here we go with Pankow dropping back to pass, throws far near sideline to number 14, Neil Campbell, and he drops a touchdown once again. Dropped a touchdown earlier in the game, and this one off his hands. A beautiful pass by Pankow, and it was dropped. So that'll be 3rd and goal for the Eagles at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, Zach Ford out there on the coverage, helping out. Looked like Desmond McPhail on that play.
Here's Pankow in the shotgun once again. Derek Williams to his right. He looks to the sideline to get the call.
Looks like the pass might be going to the left here.
As he hands the ball off to Derek Williams up the middle, gets met at the line of scrimmage, but does manage to get a couple yards there on 3rd and goal. So it'll be 4th and goal at the 11-yard line of the Chargers, and a timeout is on the field. Timeout, Eagles.
And that's one remaining timeout for each team as we roll down to the fading minutes of this interesting first half.
Yeah, so there's 2:07 left in this first half. It will be 4th and goal for the Eagles at the 8-yard line, and you have to think they're going for it here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Definitely.
this can kind of blow away St. Joseph's in this first half, but and this will be a big momentum shift either way. I know St. Joseph's isn't going to take any moral victories away, but
taking a look at this costly play here, this is the pass that was dropped. You can see it kind of just bobbles.
Beautiful pass there by Pankow. I mean, right in the breadbasket of Campbell. He just couldn't haul it in there.
Yeah, I can't believe he didn't walk away with 6 points on that play.
As both teams break the huddle, Pankow still looking towards the sideline, trying to get the call.
The offense is on the field, though.
So it is Pankow in the shotgun. Derek Williams, the running back, to his right as he takes the snap. And there is a false start on the Eagles, as everyone saw that.
On the play, false start, Chicago Hope.
Yeah, there was quite a commotion from the St. Joe's box to our right, screaming, he jumped, and yes, he definitely did. So that is going to back the Eagles up. Still,
as we are looking at the replay here, yeah, clearly a false start.
Definitely. Yeah, he jumped there.
And Pankow once again.
Oh.
And another timeout by the Eagles.
Timeout taken by Chicago Hope.
That was their final timeout.
4 to go before the half.
So there is 2:02 left in this first half. And you have to think, I mean, they just had a timeout. So what are they going to talk over again?
Well, I definitely think this is a good place to use your timeout because I know they got a little bit flustered and obviously they got a little bit ahead of themselves, which caused that false start penalty. Now, maybe it's a good time, with only 2 minutes left in this half, to kind of recuperate and maybe talk about a different play that could perhaps get by this St. Joe's defense.
Right, because they're going to have to dig deeper a little bit into the playbook with Trevor Land out of the game now. As we've seen just through the limited plays, Pankow is not the athlete on his feet that Land is. So the last play they had gone to Fain, who jumped off sides, and maybe they're going to try and mix it up a little bit. Fain really, though, hasn't had much problem finding space. Neither has Campbell, as we saw in that last drop play, last drop pass that would have been a touchdown.
As play resumes, it's 4th and
As
goal.
we will try this 4th down for a 3rd time. And Pankow, oh no, they will go for the field goal, so they will not go for it.
Could it be
on
a
4th
fake?
down.
That's my question.
You will have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah,
Remember,
definitely.
56, Kevin Flowers did try to run on the fake punt. He is receiving it, and it is a field goal attempt. It is up,
And it's
it
wide
is
left.
no good. Just to the left there for number 10, William Zanis. It had plenty of distance. It just went to the left.
And in kind of surprising fashion, it looks like I was a little bit surprised to go for the field goal there, but in a night where we thought we were going to see two high-powered offenses, it looks like points are going to come at a premium tonight, and it looks like Chicago Hope has kind of realized that now with their starting quarterback out of the game.
So with just under 2 minutes to go, let's see if they can get a hurry-up offense here for the Chargers, that is. Caleb Hayden with the empty back set. 5 receivers towards the near sideline as he takes the snap and being pressured once again, rolls to his right, and he has nothing but room, and he has a nice gain there, makes a move and gets all the way to the Charger 47-yard line. A great run. This is what we expected from Caleb Hayden.
Yeah, he can definitely beat you on his feet, and this is kind of one of the first time all night that we've seen that him elude the rush where he's been able to completely get out of it. It looks like Hope had rushed at least 5 on that play, which has kind of been the recipe this first half.
And Caleb Hayden is 6'4", and he's definitely using
Empty
those
back
long
set
leg strides.
once again as Hayden takes the snap, looks and surveys the field, throws to the middle of the field, and no one is around. That was an incomplete pass. Number 14, Desmond McPhail, looking for the flag there, but does not get the call, so it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 47-yard line for the Chargers.
And this is kind of what I wanted St. Joseph's to go to after their opening drive. Even though they went 3 and out, they do have possibilities in the middle of the field if there is just a little bit of time for Caleb Hayden to get the ball out.
And as we were saying earlier, Caleb Hayden is a very tall man, and he was definitely using those long strides, and he will keep using those throughout the night to make those extra yards happen.
Minute 32 left, empty back set. Hayden takes the snap again. This time goes to his left, throws to the left sideline, down the field, and it is incomplete. That was Desmond McPhail. A beautiful pass there by Hayden, and McPhail just couldn't haul the grab. I mean, he had him there, and just went right through his arms.
Great work by Randy Young, my apologies, out there. Putting on, as we look here, great work to put a clean defense on him there and not draw a penalty while making sure that St. Joe's doesn't walk away with a big gain. And we have another injured Charger on the field here. Actually, that looks like McDade Bishop there, 52. Wonder if his arm might be bothering him. It doesn't look like the way he's standing. Or crouching, I should say.
He does look to be in the fetal position, and that was great defense there, as you said, by Randy Young. And there was clearly no foul there, but if you're Desmond McPhail for the Chargers, you have to make that grab as he is up. That is number 52, Shamar McDade Bishop, and he is walking off his own power.
I'm wondering if that arm's bothering him again. We were talking about that last game. His left arm kept bothering him, and here he is again. He's kind of shaking it, holding it a little bit funny. This could definitely be costly if he doesn't get this checked up or looked at, because it's been bothering him for the last 3 games.
It also is a muggy night out. He does have a Gatorade bottle in his hand, so he could be cramping up as well. You never know. I mean, he was crouched down as we are in a empty back set. 3rd and 10 for the Chargers. 4 receivers to the left, and he throws a screen to number 88. That was Malik Mason, but he is met at the line of scrimmage, so no gain. So it'll be 4th and 10 at the 47-yard line for the Chargers. Do they go for it here?
I think you do. I mean, you're at your own 40. You're at your own 47-yard line. There's only a minute left in this game. I think you're confident enough in your defense to where they won't give up anything with just under a minute.
And the
presumably.
Chargers, I mean, the Chargers have a timeout, but they elect not to call a timeout with 50 seconds left here in the first half. And it is 4th and 10, and another empty back set. This time 3 receivers to the left of Hayden, as he's getting ready to take the snap, and they are trying to draw them off sides, it looks like.
Yes, definitely. That's what I was just about to comment on. They are trying to get him off sides. Oh, but they end up costing them a delay of game penalty, it looks like.
And that you are right, Evan. It is a delay of game, so...
Do you still go for it?
At this point, I thought they were just trying to kill the time. And
I mean, it's a little bit of both. Kill a little bit of time, and now that they can go for it on 4th down. If they don't get it here, you gotta hope your defense doesn't give up 42 yards in about 20 seconds.
As you said earlier, Ben, they do receive the second half kick, so I believe now they are ready to punt the ball with Zach Ford, and they're definitely trying to kill the clock here.
And that seems, there's definitely some questioning on this between the sideline and the play. Yeah, here we go. Here.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So let's check. Oh, and the laundry comes onto the field again. This is a reoccurring theme tonight.
Delay of game, St. Joe's.
Another delay of game on St. Joe's.
Looks like they had too many men on the field. Trying to get the substitutions just right.
I don't know if they were trying to construct a fake punt. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you just left your offense on the field to begin with. But with 27 seconds left, I don't know why you would punt it. And there's another flag on the field.
Another sideline warning.
It looks like it's a sideline warning. No, it will be an unsportsmanlike. The St. Joe's sideline has been trouble all first half. It is a sideline. No, yeah, it is a sideline call there, and the head linesman there is looking at one of the dance girls. It looks like it could be. That's definitely a female that he was pointing at.
Looks like one of the managers.
Away.
That's another 5-yard penalty. So we're just kind of playing a game of how many different ways we can get a 5-yard penalty tonight.
So now it is 4th and 20, and let's see if they can finally get the punt off. They're only costing themselves more yard and better field position for the Eagles, which is not a smart play. A high snap on the punt. Zach Ford gets it off, and a short punt to his own 40-yard line, 49-yard line. It takes a Eagles bounce, and it is down at the 46-yard line of the Chargers.
And I don't foresee Hope doing anything here other than just running out the clock. I think they're going to be content to go up 2 touchdowns going into halftime the way they've been able to stop the St. Joseph's offense, that they'll be confident in their defense going in the second half that they don't need any more points this first half.
So it is 1st and 10 with 18 seconds left at the Chargers' 46-yard line for the Eagles. And as you said, Ben, they might just take a knee here.
I would definitely agree. I think that's the smart play to do. You don't want to give up anything stupid, any costly maybe fumbles or interceptions that could end up in defense getting on the board before.
And by the looks of the formation, they might take a shot here. Who knows if they let Neil Campbell have another shot, as he has 2 drop touchdown passes and a flag. This game might never end.
Delay of game, Chicago Hope. 5-yard walk-off.
Now this time a delay of game for the Eagles.
At this point, you just got to kill the clock. Now you're down 1st and 15. You're in your own territory, granted 49-yard line. You just got to down the ball.
So 18 seconds left. Now they are at their own 49-yard line with the call, and another flag.
He was early, clear as day, as a receiver on the left side takes off. I'm trying to read the number here.
That was a false start.
That was LaFabian Fain. It looks like he was just going off the clap of Pankow and not waiting for the ball to be snapped.
As a receiver, it is almost a cardinal sin to draw a false start. You never want a false start as a receiver. You are always looking at the ball. If you don't see the ball snap, why go? Don't jump. And here's Pankow once again ready to take the snap in under center, and he looks downfield, has a man open, and just overthrows him. That was number 8, Treville Hilton.
And now we're looking at a 2nd and 20 on your own 40 with 9 seconds left in this second quarter.
So now, you either take another shot or
you can go for it.
I would just take a knee. Right.
Take a knee. That's what I'm going to say as well.
Pankow sends Williams off to the left in motion and looks downfield, throws to the middle of the field, and nearly intercepted, and off the tip from number 12, Amir Bergie. Fabian gets a lucky bounce off of Bergie, as I said, and he gets the catch down the field, and it is at the 28-yard line of the Chargers. The clock is running with under 4 seconds left. They tried to get the snap off with 4 seconds left, and it's an encroachment. It looked like a false start, but no, it is encroachment.
It's been really disappointing so far on both teams with the lack of discipline that they're showing so far. Like I've never seen anything quite like this, and now Hope they've gotten themselves to take another shot at the end zone. Neither team really having much strategy on what exactly they're trying to do so far this first half.
So this looks to be the final play of the first half, barring a penalty, which in this game you never know. There might be another penalty on this final play as Pankow drops back, looks to pass, throws to his right, and that is intended for Fabian, and it is incomplete, nearly intercepted there by Zach Ford, and that will end the extremely long first half. as it is 14-0. Chicago Hope Academy Eagles on top of the St. Joseph Chargers. We are going to take a quick time. We're going to take a timeout here in Elmhurst, Illinois, at Elmhurst College, home of the Blue Jays.
I want to have fun and meet new people. I want to be social. The Illinois Media School has so many cool things they offer for me and their students. With the amount of stuff you learn, there's no way you won't succeed. You'll learn how to do a voiceover, how to use camera equipment. I mean, actual hands-on. You can even host your own radio or TV show. All of our instructors actually work in the industry too. So go to beonair.com and start your future in broadcasting today. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting